Blam. Hopefully we are coming up live now here. Time to talk about some cool stuff that's coming up. First of all, I should post this link so that people can see this. I should try to not get feedback. Mute this. This is always the process whenever I start up a new live stream, I feel like. Okay, cool. Take this guy. Post it so that we can start getting some people in here. LA Meetup and Frames ticket giveaway details. Blam. Got a few people in here. Who all's in here? I hate this thing that happens with YouTube Live where like it doesn't refresh the share attachment. So you have to like post it on Facebook and then refresh it to get an updated like thumbnail and whatnot. Refresh share attachment. So I'm gonna talk a little bit today about the LA meetup we're doing, and I'm also gonna talk about Frames and giveaway 2 tickets to Frames. So should be a fun thing. Let me just post this in the group real quick. Blah blah blah. Who's in here though? Who all? Leave me a comment, yo. I wanna know who's in here. LA meetup and Frames ticket giveaway. Details. Blam. Okay, cool. Now I can start talking. Apparently everyone's playing shy today, so no one's going to tell me who's in here. Alex, what's up? Thanks for watching. I had to bring the Amira over to Quentin this morning because he has a job tomorrow, and he needed to rent my lenses. And so I don't have my usual preferred wide lens for the live stream. So this 35 is a little tight, unfortunately. But hopefully you guys can forgive me. So, yeah. Oh, great. Shenanigans on Facebook. Anyway. So there's a couple important things I want to talk about. The first thing that I want to talk about is the LA Super Secret Film Group Meetup, which is going on Sunday, this Sunday. It's like 3-4 days away. I'm bad at counting days. And that is going to be Sunday the 20th in LA at Hot Rod Cameras. I'll post more like full details with addresses and everything in the description of this after it's up, probably, as well as in the group. You can find it on Instagram as it gets closer and whatever, or you can just Google Hot Rod Cameras. But that's where we're going to be. That's going to be Sunday, this coming Sunday, the 20th of August at 4 o'clock. You can probably get there a few minutes early if you want. I'll be there setting a few things up early. And we're going to go till about 7 o'clock-ish. And we're going to hang out. We're going to have a bunch of awesome, talented people, so you can all meet up, chat up some new friends, just connect with people you've seen on the internet and whatever else. We're going to try to do a relatively small, because we don't have a ton of time, sort of like educational portion. So I'm talking to a few different people about maybe just sharing a little bit about what they do and doing brief Q&As, which we did at the New York meetup. Went really well. I was really happy with it. So we're going to try and do something like that again, because I like hanging out and I like meetups, but it's always cool when you get a little tidbit to take home. So still nailing down some details with that, but we're going to have some people presenting some cool stuff. Hopefully. We're also planning on having some giveaways. If you like free gear, you should come out. We have a few companies who are going to be sponsoring and facilitating this event on various levels, and I'm so thankful to them for that, because without their help, we would either have to ticket the event to make money to pay for the stuff, which we might end up doing in the future anyway if we get too many people, but they make it possible. And so I want to give a shout out to Aperture. They're going to be there. They're bringing some food for everybody, which is super rad. I want to give a shout out to FreeFly, because FreeFly is going to be buying drinks for everybody, so we will have drinks and food at this event. Thank you to FreeFly and Aperture for that, as well as people from both of those companies. You can chat up about their products. Hot Rod, obviously, shout out to them for making the space available, which is super critical. And I believe Steven from Quasar Science is going to be there, hopefully with some prototypes, which would be sick, and I believe also with some more goodies to give away. So giveaways, free food, free drinks, filmmakers, education. There's really no way to beat it. That's going to be, again, Sunday at 4 o'clock. Call it 3:45 and get there and find a parking spot. It's going to be a great time. You should be there. I'd love to meet all of you. Tell your friends. It's not strictly like you have to be in the group or anything. Bring a friend, and hopefully they'll get to meet some people and it will be valuable to them. But that is sort of the plan for the LA meetup. It's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. The one thing that I'm still trying to find, which I'll float out to the internet if you're in the LA area, and I do have a few leads I have to message, is that if you own like a small sound system, we're trying to figure out how to do sound for the like small presentation Q&A thing. So if you own something or know someone who owns something, we'll gladly give them pizza and beer in exchange for hanging out for an hour or two so that we can do those presentations and Q&As. But hit me up if you have thoughts or details on that. So the other thing I want to talk about is the Frames Conference. And Frames is a one-day film conference in Texas. Let me switch this streaming thing over for a second. Blam. So now you can see my screen. And Frames is a one-day conference happening September 9th. And it's pretty dope. They've got a pretty crazy lineup here. Jared Hogan, Chris Hatchett, Danny Yount, I think it's Yount, bad at pronouncing names, Alan Baker, Ryan Booth, Elliot Roush, whole slew of talented people are going to be there. It's at this place, Common Desk in Dallas. Dallas is really easy to get to, cheap flights. The registration is only $197, but with code SSFG, you can save 25%, which gets you down to like $150. I can do math. So, you should totally go. I, unfortunately, it looks like I will not be able to make it, just with some schedule conflicts with other stuff that I have going on, both with work and family. But it's going to be awesome. So many of these guys are fantastic group members. You know, not to in any way take credit for that, but shout out to these guys for being great sharers, people I'm thankful to have a part of the community. And I would highly recommend you go listen to them again, support them at this thing. So check it out. But now what we got to talk about is I have 2 tickets to give away to Frames. And the way that I did this giveaway, now I'm going to have to find this again real quick, is I posted on my Facebook, which is the most official way to do giveaways, that I wanted people to post some of their favorite images from this year, and then I would pick my 2 favorites to get free tickets to Frames. How old is this thread? Sorry, guys. I guess it's taking me a few days to get to it. Is this it? Nope. Nope. Gosh, guys, I swear I'm going to have this real quick. I had it here a second ago, and then, of course, I clicked off to go post this in the group. But giveaways are always tough because I always feel bad for the people who don't win. But to me, we had 2 pretty clear winners. There were a ton of fantastic images that were shared, 41 more comments. So that's a lot of images in here. I'll do my best to make sure you guys can actually see this. But there's some fantastic stuff from a lot of different people. If you missed this thread, I would highly recommend checking it out. But there were 2, to me, pretty clear winners. And the way that I decided to determine it was just that the 2 images that struck me the most at first sight are the images that I was going to pick as getting to go down to the conference. So, winner number 1 is, now I got to find it. The suspense. Everyone's watching their name get scrolled by. What if I'm just messing with you? You don't know where it is in the list. Winner number 1 is Mr. Darren Green with this image. I thought this was just a fantastic portrait. Super striking. I love the texture. Great use of highlights on the edges of the frame, which can be something that it's easy to tend to avoid, but I think it gives us a good balance where we have this sort of symmetry in our background with this slightly asymmetrical highlight and just the expression and everything. I thought it was a fantastic picture. So Darren Green, you are the winner of a ticket to the Frames conference. I hope you love it. And the one thing I will say is that if for some reason you win a ticket and you cannot use it, let me know, and we will redirect it on to the next person down the line, because free tickets not getting used isn't good for anybody. So on that note, if you won, shoot me an email. I'll shoot you a message on Facebook and whatever, probably too, but shoot me an email at evan@eborsier.com. I'll hook you up with a free ticket, but I'll reach out to you too. But if you're watching this, that's a good way to do it. Anyway, Darren Green with this image for our first free Frames conference ticket. And the second one was tough. There's so many really good images in here. A lot of really cool wide things, a lot of very Fuji frames looking things, a lot of different subject matters, some stuff that is great cinematography that seems very clearly lit, some stuff that is great just catching moments. But the other image that I just thought had a lot of depth and texture and was really intriguing to me was this one from Mr. Christian Barino. I'm going to go with Barino. I have a 0% chance of actually pronouncing any of these right. So Christian Barino, you are the winner of our second ticket to the Frames Conference. I'll drop you a message as well. But both Christian and Darren, you guys win. So congratulations to you. I hope you have a great time at Frames. Again, if you can't make it, let me know. We'll hook someone else up because there are a lot of other good images to choose from. If you submitted an image and did not win, I apologize. Couldn't pick everyone. If I had 50 free tickets, y'all would have won. But I just had to go with the ones that stood out to me and sort of hit me in the gut the most. But there wasn't a bad image, which I was really surprised by. I was sort of hoping that we would get something sketchy in there, but everyone was impressively talented in general. And so I thought it was fantastic. So Darren and Christian are winners for that. So the other thing that I want to quickly touch back on is if you have not registered for Frames and you want to go, maybe you submitted and you didn't win, you can still register at framesconference.com and you can use the code SSFG to save 25% off your registration. You should do that. You should do that. You should do that. It's going to be awesome. Highly recommend it. You should also, if you're not going to Frames, or even if you are, but if you're on the West Coast, you should come to our LA meetup. Hot Rod Cameras, 4 o'clock. It's going to be rad. Sunday the 20th. Free Fly, Aperture, why am I blanking now? Quasar and Hot Rod, all sponsoring the event. Big shout outs to them. Highly recommend all their stuff. This video is getting lit with Aperture lights right now, and I have a whole Pelican of Quasars right here. So puts me squarely in the middle of that whole camp. I just need to get a Movi now so that I can super rep Free Fly as well. But come, bring your friends. It's going to be a great time. After 7, we're probably all going to go dip out to some bar or restaurant or something. So if you can't make it for the main event, I'd honestly just recommend watching Instagram or Facebook or Twitter and see where the mob moves, but I'm sure we'll still be around. It's going to be a great time. New podcast should drop either later today or early tomorrow. It's a fun, different one where we talk about Dunkirk. And we have some other cool podcasts in the work. As always, if you have suggestions for the podcast, hit me up. If you have suggestions for YouTube videos, hit me up. And if you're interested in supporting all of this and getting access to some cool bonus content, you should go check out Patreon, patreon.com/eborsier. I'm going to give you guys a quick little teaser of a little bit of what I do sometimes on Patreon. I recently made some Patreon videos public on YouTube, so you can check that out if you want to sort of get a sense of what kind of things you can be learning. But I try to do some cool educational content on there, which if you used to watch my YouTube channel, you might have been into. But so the most recent Patreon video that I did was this video about going from sort of the reference images that we had on a doc, or on a shoot, I should say. And we went from our creative doc, and I broke down sort of how I analyze the creative doc, and then where I go through and how I sort of take notes on that and turn that into an actionable look, and then making a gear list and whatnot to actually be able to communicate what we need through getting on set and actually turning that look into something, and how we apply lights and use that to get us to our final image, right through the actual final frames, and sort of how that whole process goes. So this 48-minute long breakdown where I try to go into every aspect of those kinds of commercial things, you can see that if you are a patron. So you should go check it out, patreon.com/eborsier. I have done so many. There's hours and hours and hours of content on there. Did a video on how to do underexposure without it getting messy. I've done lighting 101 and 102, the differences between soft and hard light and diffused light and all these kinds of things. I'm always doing more content, and that's the best place to get at it. I talk about rates. I just did a video where I break down all the money that I've made in the last few months and how I bill for things and what I do and don't bill for and what I charge. So if you're interested in that, check out Patreon. Thank you guys for watching. watching. Kyle, I will definitely say hey to the guys at Hot Rod. Super thankful again for their support. And Ben, thank you for the birthday Instagram break wishes. I didn't make it that long on Instagram. I made it about 4 days, and then I was taking all these pictures with my Q, and I was sick of not having anywhere to push them. And so I brought back Instagram. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Tell your friends about the meetup. Go to Frames. If you are Darren or Christian, congrats on your free tickets, and I will see you guys next time.